I want to talk about Black Room at Deep Studios. If you enjoy the content of this podcast, you will definitely enjoy the value that you get out of the Black Room and being a member of the Black Room. What it is it's a subscriber-based way to support the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast and want it to continue, I'm asking for your help. And in exchange, you're going to get an underground view of Muay Thai, American Muay Thai, as well as within Thailand. We have people who are now working on the ground in Thailand that are helping us get media, content, all that stuff. We're posting it there on Black Room, as well as behind the scenes footage of the podcast recordings when we're recording. After I stop recording for stuff that we broadcast, we put some subscriber-based only content on there. So you're going to really get a lot of value out of that subscription. Okay. It's not just supporting the podcast. We also have podcast subscriber only merchandise that's coming out as well here in 2024. So you have to be a part of the Black Room in order to get access to that. So I'm asking you for your help on that, but I know that it's not so much of you helping me. It's going to be us giving you a ton of value that you're going to get and just enjoy it. And it's only $5 a month. All right. You can cancel it anytime. Every little bit counts. Please go join it. The link is down in the show notes. All right. Anyways, sit back and enjoy the show.
Episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com. Authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of the Nak Muay. Go check it out.
Muay Thai is the national sport of Thailand, but with so many foreigners training, fighting, and even coaching there now, are they actually helping the sport grow or are they hurting it? So, before we get into that, my name is Jonathan Pu'u. I'm the host of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. I've been involved in Muay Thai for over 18 years, founder of Pu'u Muay Thai Training Academy. It's been around for over 10 years now as of recording this. Former pro fighter. I also work as a ring official for a lot of different Muay Thai organizations around the world. I've been doing, officiated a couple thousand fights, very involved in the sport. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it just really is brought to our whole life. And now I'm here in Deep Studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I believe is the first dedicated Muay Thai podcast studio in North America. All right, so getting back into it. Some say foreigners are preserving Muay Thai by bringing in money, tourism, and exposure, while others argue that it's being watered down, commercialized, and losing its true Thai roots. I want to know, what do you think? Are foreigners helping or ruining Muay Thai? Stick around because we're about to break it all down for you. So, after this episode, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment, shoot me a DM at Pu'u Muay Thai, or hit us up in the Black Room with your thoughts. So we're going to get a little bit into the traditional roots of Muay Thai. All right. So before we dive into how Muay Thai is changing, let's really just go back in time. We're going to go back in history, and we want to look at how Muay Thai was originally developed for warfare and self-defense by Thai soldiers and Thai warriors. It was and still is deeply tied to Thai culture, tradition, and respect. Fighters weren't just picking this up as a hobby, but they were raised in it. Many of them started fighting at a very young age, very young, often to support their families, buy homes for their families, and this brought into the stadium culture that was built around Thai gamblers, which was used to infuse money into the younger fighters to be able to create a future for themselves and for the camps they were fighting for. This also was filled with hardcore fans and insiders. If you haven't seen it, I believe there's a documentary that's on Netflix, and it's not a documentary, it's like a mockumentary. I'm just going to look it up here real quick. It was called Hurts Like Hell. I highly recommend you go check it out because it is talks about those hardcore fans and those insiders, right? Like the masters of Muay Thai. But going back into like that 90s, 80s era, foreigners training Thailand, that was rare. I mean, we saw he was born, I believe, in South Africa, Paulo Tosha, who is featured in Bloodsport. If you go back and look at Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's featured in it. He is one of those foreigners that like really, he went to, I think he was at Sorthanical Gym in Bangkok. That wasn't common. All right. It was very much like they wanted to keep that for the Thais. They didn't want to share that experience. It's kind of like, why is this foreign person here to learn Muay Thai? All right. Fast forward to today, and things look a lot different, which brings us to how foreigners really took over the Muay Thai scene, which is what we're seeing today. So let's talk a little bit about how we got from not wanting to share the sport with foreigners to where we're at today. So starting in the 2000s, Muay Thai saw a boom in Western fighters coming to Thailand. Gyms like Tiger Muay Thai, Bang Tao MMA, and AKA Thailand started popping up, catering specifically to foreigners. All right, so this is something that was just it started really blowing up with social media. All right, YouTube, all that stuff really actually brought a lot of this. Suddenly, training in Thailand became more of a trend. Instagram, YouTube vlogs, people wanted to come train and post a few pictures and call themselves a Nak Muay. So now some foreigners are making a real impact. Fighters like Jonathan Haggerty, Savas Michael, who's fighting on one in RWS, right? These, and of course, a lot of the international opponents that come in to fight the bigger names like the Superlex and Rod Tangs, right? Their opponents that come in on one that are fighting them. And even UFC fighters now in Loma Lukbunmi, the Thai national, all right? But here's the question. Are they competing at the highest level or are promotions favoring them? So let's talk about how foreigners are actually changing Muay Thai. All right. So when training in Thailand, you start to see something. Muay Thai isn't what it used to be. At least I see it as do many others who have been involved in Muay Thai in Thailand for a long time. All right. It's one of those things that if you're newer to the sport, you might not really have this perception. You might be like, oh, this is how it's always been. But really, Muay Thai, where it's at now, like with this commercialization of it, it's a lot different. And this goes into the fight training and stuff too, because Western strength and conditioning has made its way into training. Fighters now focus more on like a structured camp instead of like the old school fight every week style of approach, which still does happen, but it's not as common. And let's be real. Like I said, Muay Thai is being commercialized. So tourist gyms are way more popular than traditional Thai gyms that you're going to see, right? Not only that, is they charge way more, making it harder for locals to access training unless the camp offers like the traditional sponsorship for the fighters that they can gamble on and make money on. The economy of Muay Thai is just completely different in Thailand. If you're looking for a good read on it and like get some knowledge on it, I recommend my friend Matt Lucas's book. It's called On Fighting in Thailand. I believe he's doing an updated revised version too. Matt's been involved in the sport. He's one of those people that were in Thailand in the 2000s doing like legit blogging. There was a blog called My Muay Thai, and it was actually like a good source for Muay Thai of like foreigners in Thailand writing about the experiences there, authentic experiences that they're having over there. Going through like abuse, going through injuries, going through all the craziness of learning about Thai culture. All right. But his book is really precise and breaks down the economy of Muay Thai in Thailand and how the money is made there. So I think it's something that's really important because you're going to see this kind of shift in there. And then there's also the coaching scene that comes into it too. Foreigners are now coaching in Thailand. There's some great foreign trainers that are over there. Some are legit, but others, they never really fought at a high level or coached at a high level, but they're running that gym in Thailand. All right. And I'm not hating on them because a lot of them are just investing and then they hire in excellent trainers. Okay. But it's a change from where Muay Thai was before to where it is now, because a lot of the camp owners, like not a lot of them actually fought Muay Thai. They just loved Muay Thai and they invested in it in Thailand, right? But they always hired in the best. But traditionally, it was just Thai owned camps. Now you're getting foreign owned camps where they're doing a similar structure, but they run it more like a Western business. All right. So that's something that's a little bit interesting. So does this Western influence make Muay Thai better, or is it perhaps diluting or changing the sport? So before we start saying foreigners are ruining everything, let's really just take like a objective look at some of the positives that are going into this as well. More money is flowing into the sport, right? With Western influence and Westerners coming into Thailand, that's more money, that's more tourism. Like I think the big part of Thailand's GDP, their money that comes into the country is from tourism. So getting a chunk of that going into Muay Thai is, you know, it's helping fighters getting paid to be able to get paid more as like a set fight purse than rather than having to gamble and, you know, have to fight and earn it through gambling. All right. Because gambling is gambling. You can lose your shirt. All right. So there's more international competition as well. Thai fighters are traveling and teaching and getting more exposure because people are learning who these fighters are through this international exposure and people going there to watch them train and train along with them. And let's be honest, without Western fighters and promotions, would Muay Thai be as big as it is today outside of Thailand? I don't really think so. So there's another side to this coin, though. All right. And it's something that I want you to think about. So let's talk about the downside of this Western influence. Traditional Muay Thai culture is fading. All right. You're not seeing Why Crew Ram Muay being promoted at these shows. And I think that's something that's just inherently Muay Thai. And it's very important for Muay Thai to remain authentic and keep its roots in what it is. I mean, promotions like One Championship, they got in trouble because they weren't promoting Why Crew Ram Muay by the Sports Authority of Thailand. They came after them like, hey, like you're calling this Muay Thai, but according to our rules and regulations, this isn't Muay Thai. All right. So they did some things to play around with it. They call it like internet or like world rules Muay Thai or something like that. But One Championship actually started promoting doing Why Crew Ram Muay as like an opening ceremony for the show and doing other ways to promote these authentic roots in Muay Thai as well. And they changed the rules as well in One Championship and put their own little twist on the judging to make it more exciting for the casual fans. Moving away from the more traditional 5-round stadium Muay Thai that was the dominant style shows in Thailand up until just a few years ago, like 2019, like that was still the banging show that was going on, those 5-round Muay Thai stadium style shows. Thai stadiums that were once filled with gamblers and hardcore fans, they're now filled with tourists. All right. So let's not forget over commercialization. All right. Some gyms in Thailand now prioritize the commercial experience over developing real fighters and practitioners of Muay Thai. And I'm not hating on those gyms by any means that cater to tourists, but I'm just noting that we're seeing more of that now than ever before in Thailand with this Western influence. All right. So I got to ask, is Muay Thai still Muay Thai if you strip away the Thai culture? Are the fighters fighting as hard as they used to? Some might say it's a generational shift as well. It used to be like walking into a gladiator stadium at the old Lumpini, which had its last event just 11 years ago at the stadium, locating to where it's at now. And honestly, I feel it's really a shadow of its former location, and it's used more of as like a production set nowadays for like One Championship and some of the other like Fairtex fights and some of these other televised shows. And honestly, it's just completely different vibe. All right. And unless you've been there and you experience it and you see where it is now, it's still good. Like it's just different. All right. So what do you think? Is that Western influence good or bad for Muay Thai? Are we helping the sport grow or are we watering it down and hurting it? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, DM us on Instagram or hit us up in the Black Room to continue this conversation. All right. Our Instagram is at Pu'u Muay Thai, Puumuay Thai. All right. shoot me a DM. Let us know. You can also submit something through the podcast website as well. And with that said, until next time, trade hard, stay sharp, and keep the Muay Thai spirit alive. And I will see you next time. Sawadee Kap. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. If you enjoy the content, go leave a review over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Give us a rating. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast, or if you just want to shout out to your friend, go check us out at podcast.pu'umuaythai.com. You can submit to be able to be a guest on the podcast. You can submit what you want to talk about. Also, if you want to just give a shout out, there's a button for that too. Sawadee Kap.